And new data from the U.S. Marshals Service shows threats to federal judges in 2025 have already outpaced last year's numbers. As of September 30th, the USMS has tracked 562 threats to judges this year. That is compared to 509 total threats for 2024. CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman spoke to Florida State Judge Jennifer Johnson about an AI video threat she received from a man, and this was after she was involved in his sexual abuse case. But first, we do want to warn you, some of the details may be disturbing.
He sent a 3-minute video where he created an avatar of me and himself, and he chopped me up with an axe, named my children, named my husband, explained my divorce, very detailed information about me, and sent that video. And so that was the most egregious threat that I've received. It has to be stopped. This idea that violence as a response to a ruling, appeal me. If you don't like the decision, appeal me.
And for more on this, let's bring in CBS News legal reporter and attorney Katrina Kaufman. Katrina, thanks for joining us here. I mean, it is incredibly harrowing to hear Judge Johnson talk about this. We're not showing the video itself because of graphic content within the video, but can you tell us first what ended up happening in this case with Judge Johnson?
Yeah, and Nancy, it's hard to describe how graphic this video really is to see, but ultimately after 7 years of enduring threats from him, he was convicted of an electronic threat to kill. That's a second-degree felony in Florida. He was found guilty after only 19 minutes of the jury deliberating, and he was given the maximum sentence of 15 years. But what Judge Johnson said is scary, is if he had stood in a parking lot and yelled the same things, that he wanted to murder her, things about her children, he probably would have just gotten a first-degree misdemeanor and gotten out on bond the next day.
And still to have to endure this for 7 years. Several judges, including Judge Johnson, spoke last week at the Speak Up for Justice Forum. Major concern there was about female judges in particular. Can you tell us a little bit about what they're saying they're facing?
Yeah, and Chief Justice Monica Marquez of the Colorado Supreme Court talked about this. She was part of that decision to take now President Trump off the Colorado ballot, and she talked about the onslaught of threats they received after that, but especially she noticed the female judges. And there's just a worry in general, especially with women, but overall, of whether people are going to be reticent to take the bench. Judge Johnson told me being a judge is a calling. They can make much more money in the private sector. Now they're living in fear for themselves, for their family. They're dealing with this culture of threats around the work they're doing. She also talked about her concern that this could upend democracy itself. She said an attack on judges is an attack on the rule of law. She worries that judges may begin to respond and react out of fear.
Well, with 30 seconds left here, what can be done to protect judges from harassment?
So there is an effort, an act that they're trying to pass. It's been passed in the Senate. It needs to go through the House, where they want to create a center that would monitor these threats because, especially, Nancy, for state judges, they don't have the protections that federal judges get. So there's a void here. Essentially, Judge Johnson said they have to protect themselves. So there is a need for more judicial security, especially for these state judges, and monitoring and training overall, which is what this center they're proposing would establish.
Protections just to do the job that they need to do. Katrina Kaufman, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.